Source: Oshinoko. Welcome back to AniRecapz. Like and subscribe so you never miss our quality uploads. In the entertainment world, a famous 16-year-old idol named Ai Hoshino performed a concert full of lively fans. She is the ace member of the girl group called B Komachi. Since Ai debuted 4 years ago, she has been building up her popularity until they're finally popular enough for her to be a superstar. As she was performing on stage, Goro Amamiya cheered with all his heart for his beloved idol on TV, wishing he was there personally to see her cute face. His assistant stopped his precious break, reminding him that it's impractical for a doctor to take pointless breaks inside a patient's room. After that, she informed him the idol had taken a break from performing. She suspected him of being a lolicon, but he explained there was a reason for it. When he started his residency, he had a girl patient named Serena, who was a big fan of Ai. Serena also wanted to be an idol like Ai, but she couldn't see a future ahead of her due to her illness. Months passed, and Serena, unfortunately, died at the age of 12 from undifferentiated astrocytoma. She was why Goro showed interest in that same idol, because Serena would become the same age as her in the present. After that, Goro couldn't stop thinking about why Ai needed a break as they returned to work. He went inside his office to accompany a patient and interview her about her pregnancy. It was unusual for a 16-year-old to get pregnant, but he didn't let it bother him. That's when the girl took off her cap and Goro recognized her as Ai. He was starstruck that he needed to excuse himself to avoid acting foolishly in front of her. As soon as he was outside, he melted and couldn't brace himself, knowing his idol was pregnant. After composing himself, they went to the procedure normally after getting the result that she was expecting twins. After a day at work, he went outside to think about Ai. As a fan of hers, it's understandable that he was unsure and feeling selfish about her situation because it might stop her from soaring high. But Ai went outside and they shared a deep conversation that gave him a new perspective on his idol. Seeing a hidden side of Ai, he promised that he would take care of her and his twins, and he will make sure that she would deliver them safely and sound. He's willing to do all these because she is his idol and biggest fan. A few days after, Goro had another appointment with them, informing them that Ai might get a cesarean section to help her in her labor, which would leave a scar on her belly. The company's president, Ichigo Seitu, cannot let that happen for the sake of her career, so Goro suggested another alternative. But Ai is determined to deliver her child naturally, remaining optimistic. As her doctor, he did his best to keep her healthy and conditioned before she was due. The day has come, and she is due into labor. Ai was aided by Goro's assistant nurse and excused himself to rest at his home. On the way home, he admired Ai's bravery, but a voice interrupted him, asking about Ai's situation. The guy was shady and ran away from Goro, but he chased him. They arrived at a cliff, and later he was pushed to his death. He doesn't believe in reincarnation in his final moments, but it all changed when he opened his eyes again as Ai's child. It's unbelievable to him and unusual to know that he still got a memory from his past life, but he will figure it out soon since he's a doctor. For now, he's enjoying being his idol's baby. Goro is now known as Aqua and his sister Ruby in his new life. Aqua knew that Ruby was also a reincarnation from a past life because he heard her talking ill about Ai's haters. A few moments later, the company president visited her, talking about her new comeback after a while. And since she will be busy with her career, the president asked his wife, Miyako Seitu, to babysit the children while they're gone. After talking about it, Ai is now on a stage with a camera surrounding her, ready to shoot their performance with the rest of the girls of B Komachi. Behind this camera are staff and managers telling lies to survive without incident. But the Strawberry production president believes in the power of lies that Ai holds, calling her the master of lies. Back home, Aqua was watching her mother heartily. Ruby heard the TV and argued with his brother for now, waking him up to watch her live on TV. Since then, Ai has been busy working as an idol and caring for her baby and Miyako. She had had enough and felt annoyed that she was stuck with infants. She had bad thoughts about publicizing the scandal to earn tons of money. The twins can't let that happen and aren't sure what to do. That's when Aqua talks to her with complete phrases that a toddler isn't supposed to do. They sit in front of her, introducing themselves as the messenger of God, intimidating her. Miyako got scared and couldn't believe an infant talked to her, so she thought it was just a trick that I and the management had set up. To ease her weariness, she was about to pick up Ruby, but she slapped her hands away, telling her that she was the incarnation of Amaterasu, known as God. Ruby got into characters, telling her that God sent the twins to guard and guide Ai to become great. But with Miyako's wrong deeds, she simply went against God's will and might get a punishment of death. This scared Miyako, and she actually believed the twins' mischief. She broke into tears, but Ruby assured her that if she continued to keep their mother and their secret, her dreams would come true on remarrying a handsome actor. Because of this, Miyako's attitude drastically changes from being gloomy to a lively nanny. With their random acting earlier, Aqua asked Ruby whether she was an actress or at least a role player in their school from her past life. Still, Ruby answered her indirectly, saying she grew up in a different environment. Aqua told her that she might become an actress, but Ruby hasn't given the future a thought. Night came, and Ruby fell asleep on the couch. As a good brother, Aqua covered her with a blanket as he got a random feeling that Ruby acted like Serena because she had the same passion for Ai. Aqua said it loudly without knowing it woke Ruby, thinking somebody called for her. She stood up and walked towards their room, while Aqua stayed to watch the TV. She looked back, thinking whether Aqua was Goro, but she thought it was impossible. Not knowing that he was, she just wanted to put her past name aside. A few moments later, they are making appearances around the city, yet her salary remains at 200,000 yen. She complained about why their company pays them well despite getting good exposure and voting from the Orisuon ranking. Miyako was tallying the expenses and numbers of the company to keep track of the finance. She responds that their company has few resources because they're small, unlike the other firms. Miyako pointed out that Ai hasn't complained about her salary before, but Ai explained that she was alone before, so it's not hard for her to get by with a small salary. But now that she has the twins, she has big dreams, like putting them in a better school to earn more skills. So she's determined to do her best to be more famous and earn enough for them. After a while, Ai excused herself since she'll be out for practice. After she left, Ruby asked Aqua whether idols make millions a month, but Aqua was old enough in his past life to know how the industry works. He explained that the royalties from each song and performer's wages are split equally, the merch in every concert needs to meet the sales, and the cost of every piece of clothing that the idols used are deducted from their salary. After that, Ruby was furious about the crazy world where people who work hard can't even make money. But she had a sinister idea to take Aizotake fan take turns cutting up their livers. However, Aqua didn't mind her and was more worried for Ai. Since aside from being pretty in her dancing skills, she also has voice training which she practices very hard at home at night. All of this is because B Komachi is slowly becoming popular. After realizing all this, Aqua turned to Miyako and asked her why I was not getting a job, and Ruby even cussed for her. To defend herself, Miyako explained that idol groups tie dozens of people together to compete with the solo artist for limited work resources. They've been getting jobs through tie-ins, but the company is struggling to compete with others. This is why other girls quit their idol careers and try doing other work, but they also struggle to find a decent job and can only work at high-end restaurants in Roppongi or find rich men to rely on for money. Knowing all of these, the twins are feeling scared and open to the world of the entertainment industry, especially Ruby. Miyako explained further that she could see Ai's potential, but she would struggle to survive in this industry if she couldn't fight it alone. Miyako also suggested that Ai can't be famous for being a member of B Komachi. Instead, she must make people want her in her own way. Meanwhile, Ai was taking a break after practicing late at night. Other members approached her and saw that she wasn't that energetic, but Ai explained that she just didn't have her lunch, so she felt stiff. But instead of helping her, the member called her a glutton after leaving. It didn't lift Ai's spirit, and she felt like she needed motivation, so she tried ego surfing. While scrolling through the comments, she came across saying that her smile was just a professional, full of fakes. Ai was hurt by this comment, but her day went on. After nights of practice, they'll finally perform on stage in front of their crowd of fanboys. The twins also attend the concert because Ruby says so, despite Miyako's explaining they're not allowed. Ruby was feeling joy of getting to see her mother perform live, but Miyako warned them not to draw attention, so she gave them a pacifier, preventing them from screaming. The show started and A and two other members performed their best, with their fans chanting loudly. In the middle of it, I can't stop thinking about the harsh comments she'd read, but something catches her attention. The twins dance with their light sticks, aggressively drawing attention from the idols and the crowd because of their energetic cheer. Because of this, I felt motivated, seeing her twins cheering for her. After the performance, the twins' cheer was caught on video and went viral with millions of views. Because of this, Miyako was scolded by the president for abiding by his words. The article also put on A's genuine smile for her kids, and the comment from the same guy caught her attention, saying it was the smile they were looking for. Because of that, I had been smiling cutely and widely. Years have passed, and the twins can walk and talk freely without getting suspicious. That's when Ruby didn't realize she said a deep word that a 3-year-old isn't saying. I suspected them of being genius, making the twins nervous because their secrets might get exposed. Throughout those years, A expanded her work until they finally got an acting offer for a drama. Before going to the set, Miyako briefed them to not forget that she is their mother and not A to avoid suspicion from others. As they went inside the set, the director, Teishi Gotanda, saw the kids and wasn't fond of their presence since they might ruin the shot by crying, but he remembered a labor reform and let them pass. After that, as I was getting ready, the twins were getting compliments and attention from the other staff, giving them affection that drowned Aqua, so he excused himself and went outside. Walking down the hallway, he came across the director, getting warned that if he cried, he would throw him out of the set. Feeling intimidated, Aqua apologized hard that it caught the director off guard. Teishi was shocked to hear full phrases from a young boy, so he picked up Aqua to look at him closely. Teishi explained that he had never seen early ripe children, but had never seen someone like Aqua. Because of that, he lends Aqua his business card to call him when he finds an agency. But Aqua doesn't want it, so instead he tells the director to give A the work. Still, Teishi explained that there are 3 types of actors: the popular idols who attract the audience effortlessly, the real-deal actors who prioritize quality work, and lastly, the new actors to whom A belongs. They are the actors whom nobody expects them to be good enough. He explained that new actors are an investment to the set to test if they can attract more audience, so it's not certain if I can give them a number audience. After talking, they were ready to shoot as the director and Aqua watched them intently. A did her best to look cute to the camera throughout the shoot. Night has come, and the Hoshino family is in the living room, waiting for A's scene to appear in the drama. Turns out, her scene lasted a few seconds only after the drama was finished for today. Ruby and Aqua were infuriated by her duration in the show, especially because it made I feel bad about herself. With that, Aqua excused himself and called the director, asking about the shots. Teishi explained that A was too cute in the shots that it may overtune the main character, so they had to cut it out as much as possible. To make up for him, he promised Aqua that he'll make A the main character of his movie, but Aqua needed to be part of it, to which he agreed since it's all for I. The day of the first shooting of the movie came, and they met again, welcoming Aqua to a low-budget shooting site. A few minutes later, Miyako interrupted them, thanking Teishi for having Aqua as a role. On the other hand, Aqua tells him that his sleeping sister in Miyako's arms is far better at acting than him, but Teishi only wants him for that role. Afterward, they were resting in a room when Ruby threw a tantrum about wanting to see her mother. But a thud made by Kana Arima caught their attention. Kana scolded them that they were at a professional shooting site and that if they wanted to play and be kids, they might as well leave. Seeing Kana up close, Ruby tried to remember she was the child actress who could cry in 10 seconds. Except she is too pretentious, so Ruby doesn't like her. To add up her dislike, Kana assumed that Aqua pulled some strings just to get the role he has since there's no related scene of him with the idol, Ai. She went over the line by saying that she saw Teishi's previous TV series, pointing out that A didn't get many shots. So she walked away, saying that A must have acted badly since she didn't get much screen time. Her statement enraged the twins, wanting to kill her, but they were being considerate since she was just a child. After that intense conversation, they went outside to shoot their scene. It was about a bunch of women who came to the mountains to go to a shady hospital that accepts cosmetic surgery, and their role is the creepy kids that greet these women at the village entrance. The shooting began as Kana was getting into the character of being creepy. On the other hand, Aqua was unsure of what to do since it was his first time acting. Normally, he needs to play a creepy child, but Teishi improvises the script and only wants him to be himself when saying the script without acting. It was Aqua's turn to say the line, being just himself because, according to Teishi, he is already creepy enough without acting. They finished the scene there, and before he left, the woman complimented his acting skills because it effectively creeped her out. Meanwhile, Kana left with jealousy and approached Teishi to ask for another shot. Teishi said it was good enough, but Kana started crying because she felt like she wasn't good enough. He refused and let her cry while Teishi and Aqua talked by the tree. Teishi told Aqua that the importance of acting is communication, and a person who is arrogant at an early age won't have a good future. Yet he still lets it since it will be a good lesson for her. Teishi complimented Aqua's acting, but Aqua felt guilty because he wasn't even acting at all, feeling bad for making Kana cry without directly doing anything to her. Teishi told Aqua to be the actor that serves a good performance, but Aqua isn't trying to be an actor, so he didn't budge. But that's how he got into the industry. Jumping to 3 years after, Teishi became a successful director and was nominated for the Best Director award. Aqua was proud of himself, but he's even more proud of Ai in that movie. Because of that, Ai has been getting many job offers and TV shows, becoming an idol superstar. Ai will be 20 years old, and their existence as her child hasn't been known to the world, and they lived in peace. Except his body from his past life hasn't also been found. At that time, they entered kindergarten, playing at the playground when Aqua asked Ruby what she did in her past life and how old she was. She was hesitant since she might be younger than him and calls her a brat, so she claims to be a grown woman. Ruby doesn't like to talk about her past life, to which Aqua agrees because compared to before, he likes his current life now, just reading a book in kindergarten. After that, their classes start and they must show their talent in dancing. Ruby stormed off the classroom and went outside, not wanting to dance, remembering how she felt when she was Serena. After a while, Aqua found her in the bushes behind the trees, sulking. She explained to him that she was a terrible dancer and had never danced before. With that, Aqua assumes that she was a shut-in person in the past, which is true. No matter how many times she tried to be active in the past, her body wouldn't let her. Aqua told her it didn't matter anymore since she had another life ahead of her. Because of that, Ruby dared to practice in A's private studio to dance. She did her best, but she kept falling, and that's when I saw her there and helped her up. She danced to her old songs for a concert as Ruby watched her, pointing out her mistakes. She remembers all her moves well because that's all she has done in her past life. With that, I asks Ruby to teach her how to do it, but she keeps falling. With motivation from A and new hope, she danced cheerfully. Aqua watches her secretly and admits that she is good at dancing and getting to inherit A's beauty. Meanwhile, I went outside to call the twins' father at the phone booth. She wished they could meet if he wanted to see his children, so she gave him his current address. She's doing this because she overheard a conversation between the twins, wondering who their father is. After doing her errand, they went to Ichigo's apartment to celebrate their milestone because they finally got to go to the dome. It's his dream for his idol to perform in the dome, and Ai pursues that dream for them. With that, Ichigo warned her not to make a scandal, not even letting the children meet their father. Although I already did that, she lied to Ichigo, assuring him she won't do it. She reminisced about the time when Ichigo recruited her to become an idol. She shows no interest in being one because she is completely different from the real idols who smile at everyone. Meanwhile, she only likes to tell lies and cannot love anyone, but Ichigo explained to her that consumers love to hear beautiful lies. Even if she says she loves them without meaning it, they would believe her. Ichigo told her that the phrase "I love you" often appears in lyrics, and if she keeps telling them "I love you," the time will come when her lies will come true. Getting intrigued, she agreed to become an idol. She wants to love someone and experience being loved. That's why she keeps telling her fans she loves them, hoping that one day she can truly say "I love you" from the bottom of her heart. She even hoped to love her kids, yet she hasn't found the courage to tell them. because every time she does, she'd wonder if it's a lie. A few days after, and it was finally the day I would perform in the dome, the family was cleaning their bedroom peacefully when the doorbell rang. I rushed to open the door and see who it was, only to meet a shady-looking stranger named Ryosuke, wearing a hooded jacket wrapped in a black outfit. He brought a bouquet of flowers for her, congratulating her for performing in the dome, and asked her about the twin. Suddenly, Ryosuke stabbed Ai in her abdomen. Ai's memories flashed through her eyes from the moment she delivered the twins, celebrating their first birthday together, stargazing with them to their peaceful moments together as a family. Aqua opened the door, wondering why his mother had taken so long, only to be met with a strange guy holding a knife soaked with Ai's blood. As Ryosuke ranted to her about how he suffered more than her because she chose to have kids and betray her fans, Aqua rushed to aid her mother. He points out that Ai was a liar who secretly thought her fans were idiots and always lied to her fans. Despite a fatal situation, Ai tries her best to explain that she doesn't know how to love someone, so all she does is say beautiful lies that people love to hear, praying that her lies will come true one day. Ryosuke was taken aback by her voice, but Ai still explained herself. She mentioned that she expresses her love to her fans by singing those love songs with her heart loving them. She reached out her hand to him, saying she still wanted to love him. Ryosuke wanted to believe her, but his anger got the best of him, saying she didn't even remember him. But Ai proves him wrong by calling his name and how he often comes to their handshake meeting. Ryosuke didn't say anything and Ai assumed she was wrong, so she apologized to him for being bad at remembering names and faces. She explained further that she kept the stardust he gave her and used it to decorate their living room. Ryosuke had mixed feelings. He finally got a sense of guilt, so he ran away from her. Aqua called the ambulance and checked where she got stabbed, trying to stop the bleeding. But Ai hugged him, apologizing to him while Ruby was on the other side of the door. She wanted to see them grow up, but sadly she couldn't. So in her last moment, she called for Ruby and Aqua, telling them she loved them. At that moment, Ai felt the feeling of loving someone with all her heart and expressing something true before passing away. After that, news about Ai's passing was aired worldwide, informing the citizens about what happened, and the culprit, Ryosuke, committed suicide hours after murdering Ai. Fans have gathered flowers and gifts in memory of her as they mourn outside the dome, where Ai was supposed to perform that day. 3 days after the incident, and the news about Ai's passing seems to be buried in the snow. Since the twins are registered under the president and his wife's name, they weren't caught up in the drama. The police investigation went by fast since the murderer committed suicide, except for the victim's counseling. The day after Ai's funeral, the twins were discussing the future. Then a realization dawned on Aqua that Ryosuke also killed him in his past life. It's suspicious that Ryosuke seems like a detective, so someone must have leaked the news for him, which he suspected to be his father. That must be part of the industry.
俺はまだ死んでられない。必ず見つけ出して、俺の手で殺すまでは。俺を育てる気はない。
He went to Teishi asking for his favor of training him to be an actor so he could have a glimpse inside the industry, trying to find his father. Teishi was speechless and agape that an ace actor asked to train him, so he agreed. Years later, the twins are already teenagers preparing to go to school. They grew up with beauty and talent. As for Aqua, it's time for him to do his revenge show.